All right, guys, this is Paul Singh, the Market Speculator, with the trade report for Monday, October 16th, 2017. I'm recording this on Saturday. If anything changes Monday morning, of course, I will let you know. Let's take a look at, start off with current positions. We usually start off with the market. Let's do it a little different today. OLED, after the big pop on Thursday, we're basically consolidating at the top of the bar, which is a good thing. Again, we're going for 140. That'll be our target. We're about halfway there. Stop is still at the same spot. I haven't moved it up. If it gets up to 135 or 36 as a close, it has gotten up to that level intraday. I may put the stop at entry level to keep it at least a break even or a win. Facebook still moving towards our target, which will be 176, 177, 178, somewhere in there, but hasn't made that big push yet. So, here's where it broke out on earnings. It basically tested once, tested again, and now maybe the third time will get us to push over that level, especially if the market starts to move. DO has been a little wild, but still about 35 cents above our entry, which is pretty good for a $15 stock. So we entered around 14.84. Target's going to be up here close to 16. So we're still a ways away, but moving at least on Friday the way we'd like. Oil, gas has been volatile day to day, so hopefully we keep moving up there. And then LABU, so the biotech short is working really nicely. XBI is below its 9. Now LABU also below its 9, exactly what we wanted to see. I think the entry was around 188. We're at 185.45, so we're getting there towards the 80 to 82 target, which will be within this range and could find support somewhere between 75 and 80. So we want to start taking profits at that point. So hopefully we get a little 5-point push and get that target on the biotech short. So that is current positions. Everything's working out pretty good. Now let's go to the market indexes and some sectors here. SPY, we talked about going into the week. We expected consolidation. We got that. We didn't get that 250 to 55 moves. So if here it would have been 255 to 260, basically consolidated, but it was a really healthy consolidation. So for one, we closed off at the top of the range. It never really pulled back that deep. And what is really interesting is the T2108. We talk about this one occasionally. It's measured stocks above their 40-day moving averages. And we are at highs here, at least recent highs going back a few months here. That's good. That's confirming the move we had. It had really dipped to where this number was only 27. Now we're at extended levels, which we want to see to confirm the highs. So I'd be concerned if this thing was at 60 or even 65, but we're up at 72, made a high of 78. That's a good thing. That's telling us stocks are participating. So we like that. Going back to IWM here, consolidating nicely, holding the 9. And then the Qs, the stuff has been going back and forth between IWM and Qs and which one's leading. The Qs are back to leading, which obviously is good for tech type positions. So SMH, semiconductors, has basically been leading tech. You can see way above highs here. So really healthy here. And we've got OLED, we've got NVIDIA on our focus list and a few others there as well. Energy and oil, a lot of back and forth, but we are trending upwards. And ERX, same thing, is held up better than oil, which should help our DO position, which is an energy position. Financials took a big dip. We had some earnings here with financials, but coming back strong towards the 9 on Friday. So the key for us in watching financials this week is, do we get back up over the 9? So if we get back over the 9, maybe we can take a position in FAS, which is why I put that on our focus list. XHB housing, consolidating really nicely. We just want to see if it can hold the 9. Prove to us they can do that, and that will give us a buy the dip opportunity in some of the housing stocks. Now, I'm not putting them on the focus list yet because I probably will not trade them Monday. But if housing picks up, then during the week, I'll add those DHIs, the LGIHs, the tolls, Lenars back on our focus list. Retail, let's take a look here. Really a mixed bag. And after a big move off lows, we're coming back down. So retail is back off our radar. Again, if it starts to climb, we can put those stocks back in, but I don't really have any retail stocks on the list unless you consider Amazon retail or Ferrari's retail, or Tesla's retail. We're not really going after the the department stores or any of the clothing stores or anything like that at this point, but we could add those later. Gold, that the market is at highs, but gold is popping, which I talked about the T2108 being a really strong indicator of strength. A little surprised that gold would be popping here with the market like that, although there are other reasons for that get into for we do, but we just need to look at the price action. It looks actually pretty good. So if I'm not going to put it on our list, but if you're considering it, UGLD might be a nice spot here. EWZ, it took this ended up being a buy the dip, and now we're near highs. Let's see if we get a close in here. It's say the upper 43s. Potentially, maybe we enter Brazil's triple leverage ETF, and then FXI bouncing off the dip near highs, and we've got a number of China stocks on our list. Now let's get to that list, the focus list. Start with Roku IPO. Same as last week, we are looking for the break of 25 here, or a breakdown of 20 for a long or a short. LN, a new stock on our list. This was an IPO in 2016, starting to put in a bottom formation after this big run down. I would say a break of 39 might get us an entry. We're kind of in no man's land right here, even though it looks strong, but if it breaks 39, basically this level right here, looks like 39.30. That would be a trigger for an entry. Tesla, just like last week, still testing that 50-day moving average. So we're watching that closely to see if it holds. Steel has been popping, and we can see MT here. There were a couple other big breakouts in steel. We'll see how MT consolidates, and then X also broke out, but under the 50. We'll watch these guys. Probably not on Monday. We need to see how they react to this breakout. Race, this is a little frustrating because we got stopped out of here of that analyst downgrade, which we mentioned at that time was probably a bunch of BS, and it has been. It's come back here now. Now we want to see a break of 117, which would get it back, invalidating that gap down, but it has pulled back at that level at this point. So I want to see a close above that level, and that's one point to make here. If you get stopped out of a position, don't be afraid to re-enter if we get a new setup out of it. Speaking of that, also got stopped out of Sina, and it looks like Sina has come back as well and could run to the highs or even break. And then the other China's Baba has pulled back. So we're going to watch if we get a buy the dip opportunity there. And then Baidu is at highs. We want to see a break of those levels. Some of the FANGs, Netflix hitting that 200 level. Maybe we get an entry here this week. Amazon, the 1,000 level. Maybe we get an entry here. Maybe you could enter here if you're aggressive. And Google also back up over 1,000. So all three of these guys are at or above key levels, which make them attractive. And NVIDIA, same thing, getting to its highs as well. And we'll look for a good entry depending on what price action tells us in the next couple of days. And then finally, Snap. IPO has bottomed. 2 big breakout days, and now we want to see if we pull back and hold in the 15 range. I would love to enter there, or move above this 17 level. So those are the key levels we're going to be watching with Snap. So that's what we're looking at going into the week. Obviously, as the week progresses, this could change. So I will see you guys on Monday evening or Tuesday morning with an update, unless I take a position Monday intraday.